How much time I got on? 47 minutes. Ooh, how did I get so much memory all of a sudden? Yo, last video I did only had like 6 minutes left on it. Where the heck the extra 40 came from? Hmm. Must have got rid of all that porn. Well, rising family, welcome to another edition of your Reminder to Self. I am your beautiful, wonderful, super handsome host, Ahmad, aka Pharaoh Brown, the meditate guy, Mr. Meditate, Mr. Come Look Inside Yourself, aka Mr. You. How y'all doing today? I hope y'all doing well. So, for today's Reminder to Self, I want to delve into the concept of faith. Faith, yes, faith. Now, when we use the word faith, it automatically causes a trigger and a divide for many people in both the spiritual or the religious community. And we always want to take ownership over who has the word, who has the proper application of the word, who knows how to use the word, what does the word actually mean, the etymology of the word and the history of the word. When really, all that matters in faith, the biggest thing that is the most efficient, most effective tool that really helps out faith, to be very honest, it is you. When we talk about faith, the word faith is applied simply being that you believe in something that is not yet here. Having faith in something is also applying a particular mental application or mental view or mental mindset to where you absolutely tangibly know that whatever it is you're thinking about or experiencing will fill its function. To keep it simple, if we look at this chair that I'm sitting on, we all know that when we see a chair and the chair is in a reasonable condition, when we simply glance at said chair, we have faith that that chair will support our weight. And because we have that faith, that knowingness, that mental assurance, the mental attitude to where we don't give it a second guess, we do what? We sit right in the chair. We go from one form of being, which is standing, to a different form of being, which is sitting. We've taken action on a conviction that is based on a mental attitude of knowingness, what we know about the experience of the chair. Now, taking this chair experience, again, this is a very easy kind of understanding because the chair is something that is right in front of us. We can't actually see the chair. However, the thing that we can't see is if the chair can support our weight. And that's where the faith actually comes in. We really don't know if the chair that we're about to sit on or the chair that we're currently sitting on can actually support us, will actually hold us up, will not cause us harm. Technically, we again do not know if that is the case for that chair. However, because we have been around so many chairs, because we have tried so many different chairs and sat in them and simply just have the mental habit and the mental practice of knowing what a chair is supposed to be and or do, we allow that faith component of knowingness to snap into place without a moment's notice, and we sit. So this exact same attitude can be applied to things that we cannot see. And that is when we are really talking about the spiritual aspect or the religious aspect of faith, rituals, magic, manifesting, affirmations, all of those different things. In those different schools of thought, we're doing nothing more than trying to accomplish the act of taking a thought that's inside of our head and bringing it into this material plane. And regardless of whatever tradition or school of thought we come from, we are literally going through the same mental vigor, through the same emotional roller coasters, or through the same life experiences in attempt to try to get ourselves in the mental, emotional space of knowingness. And it is a thing of knowingness that is the true spiritual use of the word faith. And yes, faith can be applied if you are a person who does not believe in a religious deity. If you're a person who does not ascribe, more specifically, to a Jesus or an Allah, because those are the communities that use that word most regularly. But again, when we take away the schematics and whatever community has adopted the word, the universal understanding of faith is that you are the conduit for the movement of spiritual energy. And because you are the conduit of your spiritual energy, whatever you're doing to help build up your faith, that is simply nothing more than you going to work out of all of the different mental and emotional kinks that you have inside of yourself, or the mental and emotional resistances that you have inside of yourself that you were working towards removing, so that you can get into that mental space where creation, where the unlimited power, the flowing, always moving, always ever-present power of creation itself, of this reality, of this realm, begins to work for you and your thoughts. And so when we go to church and we listen to the songs and we listen and try to make ourselves feel better and get a part of the rituals, because they do rituals every Sunday, the sitting, the standing, the singing, the time for offering, the way that you attentively listen to the message, everything in there is a ritual. And all of those different rituals that they have set in place are hopefully, again, because every community is different, but hopefully are designed to help bring you into a mental, emotional space to where, again, you have that exact same knowingness about what it is that you want to create, who you want to be, what you want to accomplish with your life, what type of goals you have, etc., that you enter into that same mental, emotional space of knowing that your future will be aligned based on your goals in the exact same way that you sat into that pew on the chair at the service. This is no different than you who are a manifestor or a person who is in the spiritual community and you have a particular goal that you want to accomplish, you want to get something off the ground. Yes, you don't go to church, but what do? You go to your altar. You pray to your ancestors. You go set out a whole bunch of food. You go put some liquor on the table. You light your incense. You light your candles. You burn whatever you need to burn. You get your bay leaves out. You pour your different libations, etc. You're doing all of these different things to get yourself in the same mental, emotional assurance where you know that whatever it is that you're working on is going to come to pass. It is nothing more than a matter of time and not a matter of if. And so, as usual, though, the same thing applies to going beyond your religious experience, going beyond your meditation when you're trying to program yourself, going beyond sitting at your altar, going beyond writing an affirmation over and over and over again. Yes, we ritualize ourselves through different experiences to raise up the mental, emotional space, to literally just raise up the confidence, because that's really what we're talking about. To really raise up those different things, it becomes a challenge then to take that same confidence, that same assurance that we put in practice mode in our ritual, practice mode at our church service, practice mode as we wrote down and visualized and made our vision board. Those things do nothing more than allow us to play in our mental field what it is we actually have to go out into the real world and do, to actually go out into the real world and become, to go out into the real world and transform. Many times, many of us do not have our prayers answered. We do not have our rituals honored. We do not have our affirmations completed. We do not have, essentially, the thing that we desired, it does not work. And the main reason why it does not work is not because you quote unquote didn't pray hard enough, right? You didn't pray right, or that because God ain't real and that whole thing's made up, or because you did something wrong on your altar and instead of you putting it in the northeast corner, you put it in the northwest corner. So now the deity Lakshmi is mad at you and now you can't get what you want. None of those things are actually the source for why your prayer wasn't answered, for why whatever you're trying to manifest did not come to pass. The true reason why they did not come to pass is because of you. And they did not come to pass not because of you and your inability to honor the ritual. Again, there is a certain aspect to that. But the biggest part about it is you do not truly believe. You do not truly understand. You do not truly have the innate desire coming from the core of your being. You truly do not know for sure that what you're working on will actually work. And until you deal with that energy, again, that internal lack of trust, that internal distrust, that internal disconnect, that internal wavering back and forth that you have, until you deal with that aspect of yourself, it does not matter what you believe in, how often you ritualize, how often you meditate, how often you write a new affirmation, how often you put something new on your vision board, nothing will come to play until you deal with your wavering, confidence, assurance, knowingness, self-practice, mental attitude about what you know to be true for your own reality. And so there are certain ways that you can begin to build yourself up. This isn't just a critique on, your mental space. This is actually an invitation for you to practice more and to enhance yourself more so that you can get into these spaces where you are assured, where you can get more into these spaces where you know without a doubt what is actually happening, what is actually taking place. And so to practice those things, you can bring it into your daily life. Instead of going full-blown manifestor saying, I need $1 million next Thursday, try something small. Write a small affirmation for yourself to, see a woodpecker next week. Like something very simple, but very out of the ordinary. For you to say, someone's going to buy me lunch at work next week. Like anything that just breaks up your mundane, anything that breaks up the normal base routine of whatever you experience daily in your life. Write an affirmation for yourself to mix it up. Go onto your altar and do whatever your prescribed altar work is to mix up your experience. Yes, go to church and pray to Jesus and ask him to show you a woodpecker next week. Whatever your method is, start with something abstract. Start with something small. Start with something that you know is not going to bring you any emotional upheaval. Because again, you need that money, so you're worried about it in your emotional space. That's why you don't have it. So to again, get back into the emotional practice, start to manifest things that really don't mean anything to you, to where you don't have an emotional attachment to it, whether it manifested or not. Getting into that space, the whether it manifests or not space, the genuine, I don't care, a genuine, I don't give a fuck type of space, not the lackadaisical, I don't give a fuck because I'm not gonna try because I'm lazy type of space. When you truly get into that exact same space through the practice of manifesting things that don't matter, manifesting things that aren't going to harm you or cause you any emotional upheaval, you can then start to get that mental practice, the mental repetitions going, to where now that mental space of assuredness that something unseen will come into the scene, you know what that feels like. You know what that process is like. You know that you can do it again and again and again, and you simply allow the scale to grow. And when I talk about scale, I'm not talking about the material worth of things. You go from manifesting $10 to $1 million. We're talking about the scale of self-trust within you. You begin to look deeper within yourself. You go deeper within yourself and learn to trust yourself even more. You go deeper within yourself and allow yourself to be even that much more free. You go deeper within yourself and allow yourself to be more malleable and shaped and willing to be shaped by the situations you need to go through in order to transform into whatever it is that you want. So again, it's about your trust, and it's about your internal trust systems. How do you actually trust your own self? Because yes, we can put our faith in a deity, we can put our faith in an ancestor, we can put our faith in whatever form of some type of humanized spirit thing that is outside of us. But whatever that thing may be, that thing that you may or may not believe is outside of you will only come into full understood contact with you when you fully come in contact with yourself. Everything that we are experiencing is nothing more than a mirror. Another way of saying it in regards to manifesting, it's nothing more than a channel like on a television or on a radio. On that radio, you dial and you continue to twist and turn the dial until you get to an actual station. And when you're at an actual station, all that static that was there beforehand, it clears away and the signal comes in through and you receive the message. This is exactly what it is like to get a prayer answered, exactly what it's like to manifest something from your altar. You have to get yourself in alignment with the energy with what it is you want to create. And in the process of getting yourself in alignment with the energy that you want to create, you again conversely build up your emotional confidence. You conversely build up your mental assuredness. You begin to surround yourself with the small bits of proof that whatever it is you're believing in is now coming into pass. And so begin the process of methodically building up your faith and using it and not being ashamed that you have power, not being afraid of the fact that you can change things. And most importantly, keeping the power for yourself. And when I say keeping it for yourself, I'm talking about letting the things around you be the witness of whatever it is you created and you not becoming a whistleblower for your own creation. You do not want to mistakenly, egotistically be like, I am the manifestor, I am the God, I am the Jesus, I am the whatever. Or even conversely, the Jesus did it for me, Lakshmi did it for me. I now worship this particular entity or person. You want to try as much as you can to avoid that, because that is your ego stepping in and beginning to codify what you're able to do and begin to link it in a more exclusive, more shrinked, more less movable fashion. You always want to be movable. You always want to be shakeable. You always want to be able to get into a new space whenever you need it to happen. And so if you begin to externalize and praise up and solidify yourself into one particular thing, you do nothing more than limit the other energies that can flow that you would potentially need at another moment in time. So again, as your last reminder to self for the day, just be mindful of what you believe about yourself. Go look within yourself and work on your lack of belief. Work on your unbelief. Work on your distrust. Work on your lack of confidence. And as you look within yourself and continue to ask yourself or tell yourself about your confidence issues, the images and the memories and the experiences that you've gone through that have shaken your confidence, that have shaken your balance, that have shaken your assuredness, you must go and break up those memories. You must go and face those demons. You must go and embrace everything that happened in those memories so you can begin to rearrange your power structures, rearrange your mental memories, rearrange your sense and feelings of knowingness. So when they say do the work in the spiritual community, that's what we're talking about. When they say you need to get closer to Jesus in the religious community, this is what we're talking about. We're simply talking about getting into yourself and clearing out all of the things that take you out of the pure, unadulterated, divine version of yourself. And that unadulterated divine version of yourself is a completely unlimited, free, ultimately powerful, amazing, wonderful, perfect energy that is you. And when you get into that perfected form of yourself and internalize it, you will begin to externalize it in everything that you do. Not because you simply believe in something, you know without a doubt that you are the God, that you are the Jesus, that you are the ancestor, that you are the universal conduit for all of your spiritual transformations. So, transform well, family. Become that manifestor. Become that prayer warrior. Become that person who can literally create change because they know that they are the change agent. This is your reminder to self. Ahmad Brown, Pharaoh Brown. Much love to you all, family. Peace.